United States Air Force just retired the B-1B Lancer, a supersonic swing-wing bomber, one of the fastest, most capable aircraft ever built. Cost $280 million per plane. They are also retiring the B-2 Spirit, the most advanced stealth bomber ever flown. Cost $2.1 billion per plane. But this plane, this one is not going anywhere. This aircraft first flew when Harry Truman was president, when television was black and white, when the Korean War was still being fought, and the United States Air Force just signed a $2 billion contract in December 2025 to keep it flying until 2052. Not just flying, dominant. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why the most important bomber in American history is not the newest one, and never was. Before we dive into this topic, welcome to Jet Giant, where we continue to break new ground in military aviation. Now, to support us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's dive into the topic. Paradox: the new dies, the old lives. Let's start with the question no one is asking loudly enough. The Air Force has 3 long-range bombers: the B-52 Stratofortress, the B-1B Lancer, the B-2 Spirit. The B-1B entered service in 1986, the B-2 in 1997. Both are decades newer than the B-52. Both are faster, more technologically advanced. One is supersonic, one is near invisible to radar, and both of them are being retired. The B-1D's retirement is already on the way. The B-2 fleet, only 21 aircraft ever built, will be phased out as the B-21 Raider comes online. But the B-52, the Air Force is spending $15 billion to modernize it. New engines, new radar, new weapons, new avionics. The question is simple: why? Why keep the oldest plane and retire the newer ones? The answer tells you everything about what actually wins wars, and it is not what most people think. What was built in 1952? To understand why the B-52 is irreplaceable, you have to go back to the beginning. The year is 1948. The Cold War is just getting started. The Soviet Union has nuclear weapons. The United States needs a way to deliver a response deep into Soviet territory from American soil. The requirement was simple and terrifying. Build a bomber that can fly intercontinental distances, carry nuclear weapons, and survive long enough to reach the target. Boeing's engineers did something remarkable. They did not just build a big airplane, they built a foundation. The airframe was engineered with structural margins far beyond what was needed at the time. The wings, 185 feet wide, were designed to flex, not break, under extreme load. The bomb bay was enormous, not just for the weapons of 1952, but for weapons that did not yet exist. That design philosophy, build it bigger than you need, is the entire reason the B-52 is still flying today. When Boeing engineers built the B-52, they accidentally built a platform that could accept upgrades for the next 100 years. 744 B-52s were built in total. Today, 76 remain in service. Every one of them a B-52H, the final and most capable variant. And every single one of them is being rebuilt from the inside out. 70,000 counts what this really means. Now, let's talk about what makes the B-52 not just survivable, but decisive. Payload. The B-52H can carry 70,000 pounds of mixed ordnance. That number does not sound real until you compare it. The F-35 carries roughly 18,000 pounds in its maximum external configuration. The B-2 Spirit carries up to 40,000 pounds. The B-52H carries 70,000 pounds, and it can carry everything. Nuclear gravity bombs, check. Air-launched cruise missiles, check. 20 AGM-86 nuclear cruise missiles simultaneously, check. Precision-guided JDAMs? Check. Anti-ship Harpoon missiles? Check. Hypersonic weapons? Coming next. No other aircraft in the US inventory can carry this diversity of weapons at this scale. Not the B-21, not the B-2, not anything. The B-52 is not just a bomber. It is a flying arsenal, and the US military has spent 70 years making that arsenal bigger. Here is something that will stop you cold. The B-52 has a range of 8,800 miles without refueling. With aerial refueling, the range is effectively unlimited. A B-52 can take off from Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana, fly to the other side of the planet, drop 35 tons of weapons, and come home without ever landing. Never landing. $15 billion investment, new engines, and AESA radar. Now, here is where the story gets modern, because what the Air Force is doing to the B-52 right now is not maintenance, it is transformation. In December 2025, Boeing received a $2.04 billion contract, the opening phase of a program expected to total $15 billion to completely re-engine every B-52H in the fleet. The old engines, Pratt & Whitney TF-33S, were installed in the early 1960s. They are worn out, increasingly unreliable, and spare parts are running out. The replacement, Rolls-Royce F130. 8 new engines per aircraft. Same podded configuration. But the performance jump is extraordinary. 30% more fuel efficient. That translates directly to longer range, or more time on station, or fewer refueling sorties. These engines are so reliable, they are designed to operate for their entire 30-year service life without a major overhaul. Note first, 0 scheduled overhauls. That is an almost unheard of standard in military aviation. But the engines are only half the story. In December 2025, the first B-52H equipped with a brand new radar system was delivered to Edwards Air Force Base for testing. Raytheon's AN/APQ-18, an active electronically scanned array radar derived directly from fighter jet technology. This replaces a mechanical radar system that has been on the aircraft since the Cold War. The new radar offers superior targeting, better all-weather navigation, and critical resistance to jamming. You are not looking at an old bomber getting a patch. You are looking at a 70-year-old airframe receiving 2025 technology. And it fits. Because the engineers in 1952 left room for exactly this. B-52's weakness and its solution. Now, let's be honest about something, because this is where most videos stop and they should not. The B-52 has a serious vulnerability, and the Air Force knows it. It is not stealthy at all. The B-52's radar cross-section is enormous. It is a massive, slow-moving target. At Mach 0.86, roughly 650 miles per hour, it cannot outrun modern surface-to-air missiles. Against a fully contested airspace, think Russian S-400 systems or Chinese HQ-9 batteries, a B-52 flying directly toward a target is a problem. The Air Force's answer to this is not what you might expect. They did not try to make the B-52 stealthy. That would be impossible at this scale. They changed the mission. The B-52J is being rebuilt as a standoff platform. It does not fly into the threat. It stays far outside of it, hundreds of miles away, and launches weapons that go the rest of the way. AGM-158 JASSM cruise missiles, range over 500 miles. AGM-158C LRASM anti-ship missiles, range similar. And coming soon, hypersonic weapons that travel at Mach 5 and above. The B-52 never has to enter the danger zone. It sends 600 miles back, opens its doors, and sends the weapons in. That is not a weakness, that is a strategy. And it is one the Air Force has now fully committed to. From Vietnam to ISIS, in every war, the B-52 is not just a theoretical platform. It has been tested in every major conflict the United States has fought since the Cold War. Vietnam, Operation Arkwright, 1965. B-52s flew mass bombing missions against Viet Cong supply lines and strongholds. Single missions involved dozens of B-52s saturating target areas with thousands of bombs. The psychological effect on enemy forces was documented. Prisoners of war describe B-52 strikes as the thing they feared most. Desert Storm, 1991. B-52Gs launched AGM-86C conventional cruise missiles for the first time in combat. They flew the longest combat mission in history at that point from Barksdale, Louisiana to Iraq and back. Over 14,000 miles, over 35 hours in the air. They didn't stop, they did not land, they just flew, hit targets and came home. Afghanistan, 2001, B-52S flew continuously close air support missions for ground troops. In one of the most iconic moments of that war, a B-52 circling at 40,000 feet delivered precision GPS-guided bombs within meters of American positions on request from troops on the ground. Syria and Iraq against ISIS. Again, the B-52 was there. Every conflict, every decade, same aircraft, different weapons, different enemies, same result.
Hypersonic weapons and the B-21 partnership. Here is what makes the B-52J's future even more significant. The Air Force is integrating the Hypersonic Attack Cruise Missile, the HACM, onto the B-52 platform. Hypersonic means Mach 5 or faster.
That is over 3,800 miles per hour. No existing air defense system can reliably intercept a weapon traveling at that speed. The B-52J will become the primary launch platform for these weapons. Why? Because of that payload capacity we talked about earlier, no other aircraft in the fleet can carry as many of these missiles in a single sortie. And here is how it fits into the bigger picture. The B-21 Raider, America's new stealth bomber, is coming online now. It is invisible, it penetrates defended airspace, it goes where the B-52 cannot. But the B-21 carries less, it costs more. And the Air Force only plans to build around 100 of them. So the strategy is two layers. Layer 1, B-21 goes in first. Invisible, precise, hitting high-value targets. Layer 2, B-52J stays back. Massive, loaded, launching standoff weapons and hypersonic missiles at everything else. 2 bombers, 2 missions, 1 unstoppable combination.
Until 2552, 100 years and conclusion. Let us put a number on what we have been talking about. The B-52A made its first flight in 1954. The B-52J is expected to remain operational until at least 2552.
That is nearly 100 years of continuous service. To put that in perspective, when the B-52 first flew, aviation itself was only 51 years old. The Wright brothers flew at Kitty Hawk in 1903. The B-52 entered service just half a century later, and now it will fly for a full century on its own. While the B-1B Lancer is retired, while the B-2 Spirit is phased out. The B-52J will still be circling runways, carrying hypersonic missiles, and projecting American air power to every corner of the planet. Why does this happen? Because the engineers who built the B-52J did not build a machine. They built a philosophy. Build it robust. Build it adaptable. Build it with room to grow. Don't optimize for today. Build for the missions you cannot yet imagine. The B-52 has absorbed nuclear weapons, cruise missiles, precision-guided domes, and now hypersonic weapons. It has fought in Korea's shadow, through Vietnam, the Gulf War, Afghanistan, and Syria. And it is not done. The United States Air Force has spent $15 billion to make that clear. The B-52 is not a relic. It is not nostalgia. It is the most tested, most adaptable, most lethal standoff platform ever built. And in 2502, when pilots who have not yet been born climb into its cockpit, it will still be the backbone of American air power. That is not old technology. That is perfect engineering. If this video changed how you think about the B-52, hit that like button and subscribe to JetGene. Until the next time, clear skies.